What is up everyone, Movie Wayne back again with another end of month vlog. This is just me talking about all the movies and TV shows that I watched in September 2020. Sort of mini reviews if you like. I do these every month. I just think it's a fun little way to talk about the movies that I don't get to talk about on the channel, do full reviews on or whatever. So I just thought I'd give you my little insight on what I think of these films and TV shows in little bite-sized portions here. Now, I just want to say before I do get onto it, thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed this month. I got quite a few subscribers. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the content and the future content, of course. But let's just get on with what I've watched in the month of September 2020. Okay, so I do have the iPad in front of me here because I'm just not going to remember all these movies off by heart. But I'll just give a look down now and again. It's just the movies that I've got written down because I do try and do this in one take. It's just a nice relaxed video. Not too much editing involved and stuff apart from a few images you might see here and there. Because some of these are Blu-rays and some of them are streamed. So let's just get on with the first movie that I watched. And this is a Blu-ray. I picked this up. Got this last month for me birthday. My fiance bought me, and this is Split Second with Rutger Hauer in. And I got told about this movie from my friend in work, Adrian, and another subscriber, Tom180, told me to watch it. And it's basically about this cop who's trying to track down this murderer in this futuristic city, and the cop is Rutger Hauer. And it's a 1992 movie, I believe, but it's definitely got the 80s feel to it. And I really enjoyed it. Admittedly, I was really tired watching this film, and I kept drifting off, and it really annoyed me because I was so into the film. He's got this sidekick detective, his partner, and he's just goes off the rails. He's just a really funky character and just crazy. He's a really good character in the film. But Rutger Hauer is amazing in this. I love every movie he's in. He's just one of my favourite all-time actors, to be honest. And this is a really good film. I do recommend it. And I'm going to have to watch it again because, like I said, I was drifting off a couple of times there. Not because of the film. I was just had a really tiring day in work. This is a nice little box set from 101 Films there. If you can see it. Nice little thick box set with the booklet. And I like these 101 Films, limited editions or whatever they are. But yeah, that is Split Second. Really recommend that one. Next up, we have a movie that I have reviewed on the channel fully, and I'll leave my 2020  two review playlist down below if you want to check it out, and that is Random Acts of Violence. This is basically about two couples who go on a road trip, and one of them is a comic book writer, and his comic book killer called Slasher Man is actually alive and committing murders around where they are travelling and stuff. And it's a really good concept. This is on Shudder, I believe, and it's a Shudder original. And I really enjoyed the movie. I didn't think it was anything mind-blowing or amazing. It's like an 80-minute runtime, and it was quite a fun film to watch. If you like slashers, you might like that one. But if you want to check out my full review on this movie, I will leave it down below in the description. That is Random Acts of Violence. I know another few people really enjoyed this one, so yeah, that got released on Shudder just about a month ago, I think. So yeah, 2020 movie, Random Acts of Violence, some really gory scenes in it as well. Next up is another movie I streamed, and that was Summer of '84. This is a 2018 film, and I streamed this on Shudder. I heard a YouTuber called Cody Leach, who's one of my favourite YouTubers, talk about this a while ago, and I instantly thought that's my type of film. This is basically about a group of 4 young friends, and they believe that someone in their neighbourhood is this serial killer that's going around, and one of the boys decides that we should spy on him just to make sure, to get what we think of him, to confirm it, basically. And it's in this little suburban neighbourhood, and it just reminded me of The Burbs, Disturbia, and Stranger Things all thrown into this blender, and this is what we got. And you know what? I absolutely love the film. I've wrote loads of notes down to do a retro review on it, or a horror revisited if you like. And I might release it this month because it is October and it is Halloween, and I want to do a few little horror reviews this month. But I'm thinking about watching the film again just to confirm my my thoughts on it, but I really enjoyed it, and it's got this good little score going on all the way through the movie. In the background, the characters are fun. It's a fun movie, you know. It's a really entertaining watch, a good little horror adventure there, and I really do recommend it. It's like set in the 80s, obviously. It's called Summer of 84. It's got all those 80s vibes, so I really recommend this one. It was one of the best films I watched this month. It nearly got my pick of the month, which I do every month. I do pick the best film I watched of the month. Probably in second place, this one, but there is something else that I think was just slightly better than it. But next up is a Blu-ray, and this is called Before I Go to Sleep. Now, I went to a car boot sale last month with the Liverpool retro gamer, Jack, who's been on the channel before when we done a little collab. And I just seen this for £1 and thought, why not? I came to get Blu-rays and video games, and I didn't find hardly any, but I just seen this sitting in the pile and thought, I'm not going home empty-handed, so I picked it up. And it was okay, you know. It's got, I'm going to have to look at the front, I forgot her name, Nicole Kidman, Colin Firth and Mark Strong in, and she sort of wakes up and can't remember who she is. It's kind of like the movie with Adam Sandler in 50 First Dates, where every day she's got to be reminded of who she is and why she can't remember things by her husband, Colin Firth. But it does take a little bit of a twist, and, you know, maybe not everything she's being told by all these people around it is true. She's got to go and find out for herself and stuff. It's a fun film, but, well, I say fun film, it's a good thriller drama, but not an explosive or outstanding or anything like that, but it's very watchable, and just a good little clever film. I think it could have been executed a little bit better there, but it wasn't bad. I did enjoy it, so, and for £1, you can't complain. Next up, we have another Blu-ray, and it is out of this box set here that I showed off in my last Blu-ray and 4K update. I do have a Blu-ray and 4K update coming soon, I promise. I know it's been a while, but I will have one soon. And that is The Ring 2. Now, I watched The Ring last month, and I thought it was a really clever and solid horror movie. This one, I didn't really like it, I've got to be honest. It's an ambitious film, but it's just not executed well enough. There's too much going on. It's very complex and confusing at times. I think so anyway. You might not think the same, but I was just getting lost in this film. I just think it was trying to be too clever for its own good. And I honestly can't really remember much of the story because it was all over the place. But I think it's about a young boy who sort of connects with the videotape. I really can't remember because honestly I was getting lost in the film that much, but maybe I'll watch it again one day and review all the rings on the channel. But I didn't really enjoy this one, I'm not gonna lie. I know some people do like that film, but yeah, this wasn't really for me. Next up, we watched a documentary series, a horror documentary series called Cursed Films, and this is one of the main reasons we got Shudder, because my fiance really wanted to watch this series. And we decided to get Shudder mainly because of this, but I would not go back now and take Shudder off because I've watched it. Shudder is now my favourite streaming service, I'm not going to lie. For £4.99 a month, if you're a horror fan, I do recommend it. I'm not sponsoring the service or anything, it's just my personal opinion. But I watched this documentary series called Cursed Films, and this was basically talking about 5 horror movies, and all the stories behind what happened on set and why these movies were cursed. So the first one was The Exorcist, which was the weakest episode, I thought, to be honest, surprisingly, because halfway through it just focuses on this exorcist guy who does them in real life, and it was just nothing to do with the film. But the first 15 minutes were interesting. You know, Linda Blair hurt her back when she was doing that sit-up thing on the bed because this machine was propelling her forward and stuff, and the set going on fire and stuff like that. And it had Poltergeist and The Omen. They were really interesting ones. The guy who starred in The Omen was meant to get on a plane and then it crashed, which was weird. And obviously the young girl in Poltergeist did have an illness and sadly died, so it focuses on that. But the 2 most interesting ones I thought were The Crow, Brandon Lee's death, and I've always wanted to know what really happened there, and it does go in depth and tell you exactly what happened, how the bullet got lodged, how the fake bullet came across into the real gut, stuff like that. And I found that really interesting. It's sad, but it's something I've always wondered what happened, and it did tell you. And also we got a Twilight Zone episode. And now I'd never seen the Twilight Zone, I didn't even know this happened, but this helicopter crash happened on set and it just took out 3 of the actors there. So yeah, that was really, really shocking to watch, to be honest. I did not expect that. And I thought, I don't know about this episode because I haven't seen the film, but it was the most interesting episode of the 5, and they're only like half an hour long. So that was a really, really interesting series. Sorry to say the word interesting over and over again, but I don't want to say I enjoyed it because people are dying and stuff. So that is Cursed Films on Shudder. Next up is The Babysitter Killer Queen. I have done a full review for this in the playlist down below if you want to check it out, and a lot of people on the Big Paulie Facebook page really, really hated this movie. They despised it. They said it was the worst film they'd ever seen, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. It was just a fun movie, better than the first one for me. I don't know why it got so much hate. I really, really don't. I just really, really honestly enjoyed it, and a lot of American YouTubers seem to really like it as well, so maybe it's a sense of humour thing, I don't know, because it is quite a funny film in some places, but I can probably understand why people don't find some of these parts funny, but I enjoyed it. But my full review for that is down below if you want to check it out. Next up, we do have my pick of the month. And this is the only movie this year I've watched twice. I went to cinema to see it on the first week of January, and I did review it on the channel. You can find it in that playlist below, but it's absolutely horrendous. It's a terrible review. So I advise you not to watch it, but that is The Gentleman. Guy Ritchie, for me, has made 3 fantastic films here. Snatch, Lock, Stock and this, but I honestly am starting to think that this is my favourite one. It's a great cast. Hugh Grant is absolutely amazing in this film. He's so funny. It's just a brilliant, brilliant film. Charlie Hunnam's excellent as well. Colin Farrell. It's basically about Matthew McConaughey as this big drug, marijuana empire, and he wants to sell it off and get out the business, and he's trying to find a buyer, but everyone wants a piece of this business basically, and shows lots of intertwining stories, what Guy Ritchie does best from all these different characters. So yeah, I do highly, highly recommend this film. It's my film of the year up to now for 2020, and I don't know if anything's going to knock it off because it's absolutely brilliant. Honestly, check it out. My pick of the month, The Gentleman, from Guy Ritchie there. Next up, we do have a absolute classic. Now, the reason I watched this is because I was doing an 80s collab video with Andy. I'll leave it down below if you want to check it out. He's been on the channel a few times now, but I needed to refresh my memory of this one because I was always a big fan of the second, and I didn't really care for the first one that much. However, I can safely say that it's absolutely amazing adventure movie, as you all know, and I was wrong, and that is Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Solid adventure film. It's got everything an adventure film should have. Great characters, charismatic protagonist there in Indiana Jones. Just great villains. Just got everything. I don't know why I didn't love this film back in the day. I thought it was okay. But now I look at it with a fresh pair of eyes. Now I'm a bit older and stuff, and it's just a brilliant, brilliant movie. I can see why people think it's one of the best films of all time. There's so many great action scenes and stuff. I'm sure you all know what Raiders of the Lost Ark is about, but it's just Indiana Jones trying to find, rare relics, if you like, what he does best all the time, and there's also a lot of bad people looking for it as well. So I highly, highly recommend Indiana Jones if you haven't seen it. I'm itching to watch the third one now because I never really fell in love with that one either. I was always just Temple of Doom. It's just the way I was brought up. I used to constantly watch it, but I want to watch the third one now. I don't mind the fourth one either, but that is Raiders of the Lost Ark. I didn't watch them all, just the first one. Next up, I watched Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey for the first time ever. I've watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure quite a few times, so I'd never seen the second one. You can't get it here in the UK on Blu-ray. You couldn't get it on any streaming service. And I had like £25 on my Xbox to spend, so I just rented it. And because I wanted to go and see Bill and Ted Face the Music, so I just rented it. I didn't love it at all. I heard people say it was better than Excellent Adventure. I don't know why I didn't like it that much. I just thought it was a bit all over the place. bit dated if you want, if you like, but I did like the deaf character. He was great, and Bill and Ted were really good in it as well. It was just the story and stuff didn't really hit home with me, but I did enjoy the third one a lot more than the first. I'll get onto the third one in a minute, but that is Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Next up is a movie I watched for Andy's collab from the 80s, and that is Highlander. We go into a bit more depth on this movie in that video, but I had a little bit of fun with this. There was moments I didn't like in the film, but there was some cheesy, hilarious moments as well. Christopher Lambert's so strange in this movie. But Clancy Brown as the villain was quite good as well. It was okay. It was okay. I think I'm going to have to rewatch this. But basically it's about an immortal guy who can just live forever. And it keeps going back to the day when he had a wife and stuff in like the 1600s, I think. Is it Scotland or something, I think? But Sean Connery's in this as well. And obviously it takes place in the present day as well in New York. So I thought this was all going to be in like the 16 or 1500s, but it's not. Half of it is in the present day. In fact, most of the film is. But that's just a movie I'd never ever seen before. And Andy said out of the 5 films, he picked this, and it was the only one I hadn't seen. So I thought, for the video, I'll watch it. So, and ordered it as well on Blu-ray. So there you go. Next up is another movie that came out this month, and that is The Devil All the Time, starring Robert Pattinson. Tom Holland? I forgot his name. And Jason Clarke's in this. Bill Skarsgård. It's a star-studded cast, and it's a very, very dark film. I have got a full review for this down below if you want to check it out. But basically, it just takes place in all the deep south of America, and people getting backstabbed. There's murders happening all over the place. There's some shocking scenes in this. But it's a really, really good story. Might have been 20 minutes too long for me, because I don't mind long movies, but this one, there was just some moments that didn't really matter to the story, but it is a really, really good film, and I do recommend it if you're looking for something new to watch. It is on Netflix right now, but I'd seen the trailer for this about a month ago, and I was instantly, you know, impressed and wanted to watch it. And in my What's Coming of September, I gave this the one to watch, so the trailer just had me straight in there, but it didn't disappoint. I didn't love it as much as I thought I would, but I didn't dislike it at all. It was a really, really good film. So that is The Devil All the Time. Next up is another movie I watched on Shudder, as it just got released this month, and that is Spiral. And I haven't done a review for this, but I've wrote all the notes down and stuff. I think I just got too busy with other videos. I do plan on doing the review for this, but this is about a same-sex couple who moved to this new town with their daughter, and the town sort of turn on them. You know, maybe it's because they're being gay and stuff. I won't let anything go, but it sort of makes sense as the movie goes on and why they're being targeted and stuff. So it ain't a bad film. I didn't love it or anything like that. It was a decent watch for horror fans, basically. So yeah, sorry about the light off the iPad shining up and down there, guys. But that is Spiral. That is on Shudder, a Shudder original, and it's a 2020 film. So hopefully I'll get a review out for that sometime this month, as it is October. So that is Spiral. Next up was the movie that has been recommended to me by Bryn from Horror Hands, and someone else recommended this as well. I'm really, really sorry. Who was it? Oh, I'm really, really sorry. My mind's gone blank. But I seen, it was Art with Horror, I think. Yeah, it was Art with Horror and Bryn from Horror Hands. They both said that this movie... Oh, and John from Dino Reacts as well also said this was a good film. And that is I See You on Netflix. You might have seen this show because I think it's trending and it's a very popular movie on Netflix right now. But, yeah, good movie. Basically, I don't want to give too much away, but there's like these murders happening in this town, and this is a 2019 movie, I think. There's these murders happening in this town, and these cops are trying to investigate it and see what's going on. And stuff is happening in this cop's house where like the electricity's coming on its own and stuff like that. And just weird things like noises in the house but no one's there and stuff like that. But halfway through the film this will start to make sense. You won't know what's going on, but halfway through it'll start to come together. And even though you don't know what's going on, it's still very, very enjoyable. It doesn't mess with your head or not, and it doesn't make you not interested in the movie. You're always invested. And I thought this was a really, really clever and well put together film. And that is I See You on Netflix. I know Arrow have a Blu-ray of this, so I'm hoping to get it very, very soon. But I See You, definitely recommend that one. If I was going to do like a top 3, that would probably be in there with The Gentleman and Summer of '84. Next up is a cinema release that I went to see, and that is Bill and Ted Face the Music. Like I said, I watched Bogus Journey to get myself in the mood for this one, and I really, really enjoyed it. It had the makings to be a terrible film on paper because it's been so long, but Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter just jumped straight into these roles, and it was effortless for them. It was like they'd never been away, and it's a really funny movie. There's a robot in this. He's just hilarious. But I do have a full review for this down below if you want to check it out. But I really, really enjoyed it. And it's kind of sad, really, because I don't know when any more new releases are coming to cinema soon. I'm got my fingers crossed there, but that might be the last one for a while. Hopefully not. But that is Bill and Ted Face the Music. I really, really enjoyed it. Good comedy movie. And last up, we have Eli Roth's History of Horror. Now, I haven't watched the whole series yet. I've got 2 episodes left. But this is basically on Shudder. It's a great documentary horror series. And the first one was focusing on zombie films and zombie TV shows. And the second one was a slasher movies. And then it had a part 2 slasher movies. And the one we watched last was the Demons one about the Exorcist and stuff. But it really goes into detail about the films. And he's got some great guests on there. He's got Quentin Tarantino on there. You know, Rob Zombie's on there. All kinds of stars, great directors, great actors talking about these movies. He's got Linda Blair on there, everyone. He's got them all, you know, and it's really, really worth a watch. I think this came out in 2018 or something, but Shudder do have it on their service. Like I said, guys, if you like horror, definitely get on Shudder. Even if you just do a free trial for 7 days, it's great. Honestly, I love it. It's my new favourite streaming service. So I only talk about that again next month because I've got 2 episodes left. I haven't fully finished it yet, but that is what I've watched in the month of September 2020. 14 movies, I think there, and 2 TV series. Hopefully I can get a few more watched next month. But start of the month for about 8 days, I don't think we watched anything because we're just doing stuff every night for some reason. I can't remember what it was, but hopefully I'm going to be watching a lot of horror movies this month because it is October. I've already watched one, Enola Holmes. Not a horror movie, but I've already watched one film, and that is Enola Holmes. I'm going to do a review on that soon, I think. Full review on that because it's a 2020 movie and I want to review as many 2020 movies as I can. So yeah, this is my end of month vlog for September. If you want to watch any of my other end of month vlogs, I will leave them all down below. And it's basically the same concept where I just talk about a lot of movies. So if you enjoyed that, maybe it's worth checking them out. If you want any more movie review, if you want any more videos, movie reviews, whatever, I will be doing a lot more on the channel. If you want to subscribe, it's up to yourself. And that is it, guys. Take it all easy. And I'll see you all in the next video.